So Mourinho and Roma were both searching for another defensive midfielder to add to the team next to Veretout, because Cristante, Diawara, Villar all have a big question mark around them. Veretout is the main player when it comes to the defensive midfielder role, but seeing the fact that the transfer market window closes the 31st of August, so in 3 days, a defensive midfielder at Roma will be very, very hard to achieve. And there are positive views and negative views about it. Negative views because Zakaria was very close to joining Roma, but then things got harder to achieve. You know, he changed his agent, and his agent said that he is really, really close on renewing his contract at Borussia Mönchengladbach. Torreira signed for Fiorentina. Sergio Oliveira didn't convince Mourinho. So at the end of the day, the choices Roma had started vanishing all away. And the thing I want to make clear is, I'm gutted because I think Zakaria and Veretout could have had the potentials to be the best duo in this area. But at the same time, I understand this because I said in many, many videos, Roma is not a rich club, and there are positive views about this, that make me a proud Roma fan, because how boring would it be right now to be a Manchester United fan with Bruno, Ronaldo, Sancho, Rashford, Varane, Maguire? How boring would it be to be a PSG fan with Mbappe, Neymar, Messi, Donnarumma in goal, Hakimi, Sergio Ramos? You know, it would really be boring because the big objective of winning trophies is not an objective anymore. The moment PSG or Manchester United now win a Champions League, the enthusiasm of fans would be high. But imagine if Roma wins one of those trophies. And this just really makes you think about that football is made by fans. And in these current years, these last couple of years, it has been built by money. Because Ronaldo earns 28 million euros every year at Manchester United. With 28 million euros, Roma could have bought in this transfer market window Zakaria, which would improve Roma's squad by a lot, and another centre-back, which would not cost a lot, but would be much appreciated, because Smalling, who always gets injured, Ibanez and Mancini, now that they're playing, will get tired. Kambula is unexperienced. So I'm always a type of guy which would rather spend his money on a whole bunch of players than one single player, because this sport is being played in 11 players, and there's a reason for that. So Ronaldo is Ronaldo. Ronaldo is the GOAT. Messi is the GOAT. But spending so much money on one player really puts a question mark in my head. So Zakaria, ladies and gentlemen, as much as we all wanted him, I've seen the enthusiasm of all you guys in the comments below saying, when is Zakaria coming? Update us on Zakaria. Unfortunately, now I'd say there's a 90% chance that Zakaria will renew his contract with Borussia Mönchengladbach, for the main factor being that he changed his agent, and his agent said that there have been no bids with Roma. He wants to stay at Borussia Mönchengladbach, even though some rumors said that he accepted Roma's offer and Roma's destination and loved to be managed by Mourinho. There are German rumors saying that he wants to stay at Borussia Mönchengladbach. He changed his agents onto family agents, which are always a pain in the neck to convince. So he's very, very close on to renewing a new contract with Borussia Mönchengladbach. This doesn't mean that he can't join Roma in future years. Now, the big reason of why Mourinho and Roma were focusing on him is because his contract ended in 2022. So in a couple of months. And another big factor is that 15 million is what Roma wanted to offer. 20 million is what Borussia Mönchengladbach were asking. But it was just a distance of 5 million. So I think sitting down and talking, an agreement would have been found. Because 15 million for Zakaria is a bargain, as I said in many videos. And I would, if I was Thiago Pinto, I would obviously have spent those 50 million immediately. But to keep this club going, who is not a rich club, now they've improved when it comes to money in terms of president and chairman, because the Fredikins are richer than Pelota. However, the pandemic has caused many economic problems, so Roma cannot afford to spend like PSG, and we've seen it. You guys have seen it. Roma have spent money on Shomurodov, Viña and Tammy Abraham, when PSG has spent a load of money on so many good players. These three players have potentials of making Roma win this Serie A. Tammy Abraham costing almost 45 million, in my opinion, is a teeny tiny bit. So if Thiago Pinto managed to decrease that bid, I feel like Zakaria would now be a Roma player with the money Roma could have saved. But at the same time, I'm not complaining here, because this means that Roma and Mourinho will have to have faith in academy players, in Cristante, who scored a banger of a goal. I know many people here do not like Cristante, and personally, I do not like him. I'm not a Cristante hater, but Zakaria would have been 10 times better. Villar had the potentials of being Iniesta with his touch. Diawara needs to improve in terms of aggressiveness, but Roma have plenty of academy players, Bove and Darboe in that role. So not buying Zakaria is a pain, because he's a great player, very aggressive player, and he would have fit incredibly well with Mourinho's tactics. But at the same time, it means that Roma will have to experiment with more academy players, and that is a big factor of football. Let's see Ajax. Ajax is where I'd say the majority of academy players grow. You know, Manchester United has some very interesting academy players. Greenwood, look at Greenwood, look at so many academy players. So the future these players might have, especially with a manager like Mourinho now, could be very significant. You know, in these last couple of days of transfer market, there have been other names rather than Zakaria, because Thiago Pinto really wants to give that last present to Mourinho. And there have been names of Hector Herrera, which doesn't convince me at all, because he's coming towards the end of his career. So I would rather focus on reserving some of that money, experiment with the academy players, and not buy Hector Herrera. There have been other names, Torreira, but he's now at Fiorentina, Sergio Oliveira from Porto, but Mourinho wants a more aggressive player, and Sergio Oliveira is a more of a playmaker, if you see what I mean. There has been names of Zambo Anguissa from Fulham. He's the player who reaches, in my opinion, the equal qualities like Zakaria, but Zakaria, in my opinion, is way better. But as I said at the start of the video, it would be very, very hard for Thiago Pinto to buy one last player, especially if Roma do not sell anyone. As I said in a couple of videos back, there are players like Nzonzi, Pastore, Fazio, who are not having a good reputation with Roma, and therefore are not free to lower their wages. So they're refusing every single offer they're having, and they're trying to convince Roma to pay them to get out of this club, which is incredible, because these three players were absolute garbage at Roma. So clubs like Roma need to sell before buying, especially after a big deal which brought Abraham to Roma for almost 45 million euros. So all I'm saying in this video is that another transfer market hit for Thiago Pinto will be very, very hard. Zakaria is close to renewing his contract, and the big objective of buying a defensive midfielder is now almost fading away. But that does not mean that us Roma fans need to be disappointed, because what Roma has shown in these 3 matches was absolutely insane. 3 matches, 3 victories. Now all the heads are to Salernitana. Stay tuned for tomorrow's video at around lunch, where me and Alex say our predicted 11, and I'm gonna give you guys a small overview of Mourinho's press conference for the match against Salernitana. And as I say at the end of every video, don't forget to like, comment, share and subscribe, and I'll catch you in a bit. Simon out.